Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. A listener who signs his name New Listener. That's the name he signed. He writes in and says the following. Dear Dad, I have a friend who's in an interesting situation. He's 30 years old. And he says he doesn't want to spend Christmas at age 60 or age 70 alone. And he has thoughts of a family. He's been dating this hot single mom who he considers to be cool with a 3-year-old son. He's convinced that he can, quote, try out this family thing with this woman. And if things don't work out the way he hopes, he could back out of the situation without any strings attached, no child support, etc. He doesn't want his own baby with all those sleepless nights with an infant. Her child is 3 and has already been through that stage. What's your advice? Thanks, New Listener. Well, New, let me just tell you how I feel about this. First of all, I don't know what state this is in, but there are states, as we've reported on the program to you, where when you move in with a woman with a child, after you've been there a while, spent a few holidays, given some gifts, paid some bills, at some point, if the relationship doesn't work out, she or the state can come after you for child support. Because the child has come to rely upon your cashola and your presence. So even if you're going to have a relationship with a single mother, something I definitely recommend you not do, you don't want to live with her. Because living with her provides the possibility that you'll end up being a quote-unquote common-law husband. And it could result in you having to pay child support if things don't work out for another man's kid. And why would you want to do that? And the other thing here that doesn't make any sense to me, and it's something that I've talked about recently, and I'm very, very conscious of this. What is it that people are afraid of being alone? I don't understand this. The only reason to fear being alone is because, listen to this, folks, you don't like yourself. Being alone is not a bad thing. I live alone. My house is 3,000 square feet, 4 stories, 4 bathrooms, 9 television sets, 4 TiVos, and I live alone. And I like living alone. A lot. Living alone is a great thing. Why are people afraid of it? Many of you, I think, are afraid of it because you haven't done it. You know, you live with your parents until you went to college, then you lived with a roommate in college. Then your girlfriend moved in, you lived with her, then you married her, then things didn't work out with her, so you got a divorce, and you moved in with your new girlfriend. I mean, there's a lot of you out there who have never taken a breather. And when I say take a breather, I'm not saying live like a monk. I'm not saying live the celibate lifestyle or be a eunuch. Have sex. Have a social life. Go to parties. Go out at night. Have fun. Have orgasms. Have orgies and have orgasms. I mean, have a blast. I will continue to remind you that there is nothing to fear from being alone. Nothing. I mean, is that the reason you would get into a lousy relationship? Because you're going to count on that other person to push you around in a wheelchair or pick you up when you fall down or dial 911 when you're clutching your chest? Is that what it's all about? I'm amazed at the reasons people get into relationships. They want dishwashers, laundry doers, floor moppers, caretakers. I mean, do you realize that if you lived alone and instead of giving the money away to still another moron, you kept it and spent it on getting the proper help at your place, you not only would end up with more money, you'd end up with more peace in your life. I mean, may I tell you that, I keep saying it, a housekeeper is cheaper than a wife. It's cheaper. And at the end of the day, the housekeeper goes home. No nagging, no complaining, no critiquing, no criticizing. Your house is clean. You're on your own. You're right all the time. You're not wrong all the time. By the way, you're always right all the time until you let a woman move into your place. And then you are wrong all the time. That's the way that works. Just like when I was broke, I was wrong all the time. You know, every woman I ever dated told me how wrong I was. Now that I live alone, now that women would like to move into my domicile, I am right. It's a remarkable thing. You'd be amazed how right I am. You'd be amazed how what used to be tasteless or offensive or just over the head of the various women I live with, it's amazing how much of the stuff I say now is witty, brilliant, fascinating, simply because I won't give them the key to my place. It is also amazing how much better I've gotten in bed. You know, I was lousy. I was a lousy lover back when I had no money, back when I didn't own my own house. Inconsiderate, lousy, terrible. And suddenly I have become like the most competent in the sack. It's amazing how much funnier I am, how much smarter I am, how much better I am in bed. Wow! And everything I say is fascinating, and I'm always right. A lot of you boys who are locked down to a ball and chain will never know how this feels. But I'm telling you, when I live alone, I never have higher self-esteem because everything I do is right. I am never wrong. Today, I made lunch in a frying pan at my home. Nobody told me I used the wrong pan. Nobody was looking over my shoulder to see if there was anything spattering onto the top of the range. Nobody was looking over my shoulder to see if I put the spatula in the dishwasher, which I did. Nobody telling me what a slob I am. Nobody telling me I'm eating the wrong food. Everything I did was right. Everything I did was perfect. I mean, it's a remarkable feeling, boys. And those of you who lock yourselves in for 40 years with the same old cow, just so she'll push you around in your wheelchair when you're 70, you will not know how I feel every night of the week. And the word is not lonely. I feel liberated. I feel free. I feel like I have the highest possible self-esteem because I'm never wrong anymore. How sad is it? Think about it, boys. How sad is it when your girlfriend moves in and suddenly you're always being told you do everything wrong, everything. You don't dress right, you don't speak properly, you don't use the right tone of voice, you don't cook with the right frying pan, you don't come home early enough, you don't bring flowers, you don't bring cards, you don't remember anything, you're wrong, you're terrible, you're a jerk, you're a creep, yeah, you have a dirty mind. Everything you do is wrong, but boy, I feel your pain. I do. But that's because you insist on having somebody live at your address. I can't tell you how great living alone is. I cannot express it. Words are not enough. So when new listener writes into me and says he's got a 30-year-old friend who is afraid of spending Christmas alone at age 60 and age 70, I mean, come on, pal. Don't you have friends? Don't you have relatives? My Thanksgiving table is filled with almost 24 people every year, and not one of them has the same DNA I do. Not one of them. They are not related to me in any way, shape, or form. And everybody who's been to my orphan Thanksgiving dinner tells me year in and year out it's the best Thanksgiving dinner they ever go to. Because everybody wants to be there. Nobody has a gun to their head. I'm not alone on the holidays. I have plenty of people around on the holidays. But I don't have to be having sex with them or paying their bills. I don't. I don't have to be doing that. So, this would be a silly reason to get involved with somebody. This guy's going to get involved with a single mother of a 3-year-old. But he's wondering if maybe if he moves in and it doesn't work out, if there'd be any strings attached. Yeah, there could be. There could be. Not to mention the fact I don't want to pick up another man's garbage. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, am I so wrong? Tom Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
I don't like you.
Why not?
Because I'm listening to you.
The Tom Leykis Show. 97.1 Free FM.
97.1. Loud. The Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Kevin on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, what's up, Dad? How you doing?
Doing okay, son.
All right. Yeah, I just had this conversation with a young lady maybe about a week ago. She was asking me, am I have fears of growing old by myself, or do I want to share all this with someone else? I said, no. I said, that's why I'm living in this one-bedroom apartment, because I shared a house with somebody, and they took the whole house. All I wanted was just my peace and sanity. So, that's some things you got to do. Sometimes keep your peace and sanity when you go into things with people. And I learned my lesson, thinking, we had I'm 43, have a kid, stuff, and I try to explain to my kid's mother when she told me she was pregnant, that wasn't the happiest day of my life. And she took us, I knew my life was changing forever at that moment, and I don't get me wrong. I was telling her I love my daughter. Me and my little daughter spend time together. But I knew that if someone told me, "Hey, Kev, let's just up food to Jamaica," I just can't do that no more. Because you have kids and stuff. And I just know. I'm happy the way things are. I'm happy coming home, being by myself. I clean up my own house, cook for myself. I do everything that that a man can do.
And it feels great, doesn't it?
It feels great. It's so great, Dad. Sometimes. And you know what? I had a guy at work told me, said, Kevin, you know what? I envy you. You come home, you have different chicks all the time. You get to sit at home by yourself, and they told me, all the married guys that you that you live in. The ones that are truthful. Said, man, you live in the life that you want to live. I sit at home with my 2 high-definition television. I'm your high-definition porno son there, Dad.
Love that, son. I'm proud.
We do work, so you ladies out here think his sons don't work. We do work and have successful jobs and stuff, so don't think, all dad's sons just sit around not doing nothing. So
exactly.
I just want to say that,
And by the way, when you're living alone, that is the time to get those big screen TVs installed.
Oh.
So if you ever are stupid enough to move somebody else in, they can't say, yeah, you're not getting a big screen TV. That's disgusting.
I was explaining to a guy in Best Buy, I have 2 televisions side by side. He said, man, you must be single. And I was going like, wow, is it that bad out there? So, hey, you guys, don't worry. That's why I tell everybody, it's happy being alone. It's good to have them come over, maybe get a day or 2 pass, but you have to go home. And, and the ones that try to come over, and stay when you gone. No, when I leave, you have to leave. Nobody stays in my house when I'm not there by myself. You know, so Dad, I tell you what, I want to give all my fellow drivers out there. You know, matter of fact, I seen a guy today in a big rig had a Tom Likas sticker on there. We're going to give you a big horn blast here, Dad.
I love it, son. Give it to us.
But we about scared everybody on the 60 freeway.
Give me one more, Kevin.
Okay, here we go.
Love it.
All right, Dad. How about taking me a porno style? You know, you got two porno styles. You got to, and I will say hello to Bridget. That's a special listener of yours.
Yes.
Hello, Bridget. And you have two porno styles. You have a too short style, and you have a regular one. And that's the one with too short, with his theme song is called The Ghetto. I don't know if you guys probably do that, but we're going to name that one porno style, pimp style.
All right. Here you go. One 800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Sarah on the Tom Likas Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Doing great.
That's good to hear. I just had a little bit of an observation. I'm sure this is nothing new to you, but I have noticed, and this goes for male and female friends of mine, they get out of a relationship, something doesn't go right, and then all of a sudden they start lowering their standards because they're so afraid to be alone. And that is absolutely appalling from my point of view. And, I mean, that's probably interesting to you coming from a female that someone's appalled by that. But I just don't understand the logic behind it.
I think you're absolutely right. By the way, I think people get better, more desirable, hotter people to be with when they're alone. Because being alone jacks up your bargaining power. When you live alone, everybody wants to get with you.
I agree. I absolutely agree. But
and people who jump into these relationships because they're afraid of being alone, they generally get less.
Yeah, you know, I would expect it from my female friends. I mean, not to be down on the women or anything, but that's something I would expect out of my female friends. But my male friends, I don't understand this. I mean, they come home with these girls, and I don't know if they met them maybe when they were intoxicated at the bar and they looked okay at the time, but they end up in these relationships with these girls that are, you know, way below their standards. You know, the whole concept 2 5s make a 10. It's along those same lines. And these are successful, you know, well-to-do guys where it just doesn't make sense to me why they're lowering their standards so much when they could be single and be getting all they want with no attachment.
I agree with you, Sarah. Thank you. Gary on the Tom Likas Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. What's going on?
Doing okay.
Hey, I just got a question for you. I like your show. I've been listening for about a year and a half, and you get to voice your opinions all day long. I've just got a question. If you're saying these people that are in relationships, why are they afraid to be alone? What about you? Why are you afraid to be in a relationship?
I'm not afraid to be in a relationship. I've been married and divorced 4 times. Believe me, if I were afraid to be in a relationship, I wouldn't have done that. It has nothing to do with fear. It has to do with the experience I had.
So you've tried it and just decided that it wasn't right?
Tried it and realized that I'm better off being alone, happier alone, less critiquing, less criticism. I'm tired of being nagged. I'm tired of being told what's wrong with me. Tired of it.
Cool. Well, I like
Are you in a relationship?
I am, and I'm actually...
Don't you get tired of that?
You know, I don't, because...
You like being told how inadequate you are?
No, she never tells me how inadequate I am.
Never tells you you're wrong?
Not any more often than I tell her she's wrong. We have disagreements all the time, but we work our way through it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I see a lot of people that are out there that I think the ones that aren't in relationships are afraid to be in a relationship. I'm not saying that you are, but that's why I was asking the question.
Well, this has nothing to do with fear. It's a conscious decision on my part.
Okay.
I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. I don't want to compromise. And I happen to be a person who believes, when I hear that word compromise, I cringe. The more you have to compromise, the more likely it is you're with the wrong person.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I've been through relationships where I ended the relationship because I just didn't want to have to deal with the compromise or work so hard to get what I want. I wanted to get what I wanted when I wanted it. But I've actually found a relationship where I get to do that. I get the best of both worlds. I don't ever have to be alone. When I do want to be alone, I have the option to be alone.
So do I. I mean, I have the option of being with people.
Yeah.
If I want to be.
Absolutely.
But my default position is being alone until I choose to bring people into my life on a given day, given hour, given evening.
Cool. And you don't think the longer that you decide to stay alone, that the harder it's going to be when you decide that you do want somebody around, it's going to be hard to conform to that again?
Honestly, I have been in relationships for so many years of my adult life that the adjustment is adjusting to being alone, and not in a bad way.
Yeah.
I mean, I walk around saying, I sound like an idiot talking to friends of mine, saying things like, you know what I did? I came home last night, and I sat down, and it was completely quiet, and I loved it. And they think I'm insane. Then I went to the kitchen. You know what I did? I opened up a piece of meat, and I put it on the grill, and I made dinner and ate it. And I looked out at the view, and I drank a glass of wine. It was spectacular. Yeah, and they're like, well, that's how life is. That's how it's supposed to be. Well, it hasn't been that way, and now it is.
Yeah, that's great. So at least you got to try it and see both ways, and now you appreciate the one that you have.
I like what I have now.
Awesome. All right, well, I just wanted to ask that question. Thanks for your time.
Gary, thank you.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
If your boyfriend makes $28,000 a year, you are hideous.
The Tom Leykis Show. 97.1 Free FM.
Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Let's say hello here to David on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom, how's it going?
I'm doing okay.
Good. Hey, I love your show. It keeps me really entertained on the drive home.
Perfect.
Hey, just got a little plus for living with somebody. I've been married for about 2 years, and I know that's just, I'm younger. I'm 25 years old. And so I guess I'm still all dreamy-eyed and all that stuff. But, you know, I'm so much happier now that I'm married. I'm living with somebody.
So you were not happy before you were married?
Oh, I was really happy. I was having a lot of fun, had a lot of friends, really social. And, you know, having the time of my life, I just feel, I guess, more complete now that I'm married.
So you were not complete?
You know, I didn't think that I was.
You were an incomplete individual.
When I was single, I didn't think that I was. I thought that I had everything I wanted. But once I got married, you know, I just started realizing that there's a lot more out there than...
like what?
Just purpose.
Purpose. What is your purpose now in life?
Well, my purpose
Going to IKEA on Saturday morning? What's your purpose in life?
No way, man. I don't like that stuff. But it's just life, the journey of life, and me and my wife, we have common goals, and just to know that I'm going on this journey with my best friend, it's...
Well, you have common goals now.
Yeah, common goals now, and I realize I've only been married for 2 years, but I would hope that...
Yes, I would hope that, too, but, you know, as I always say, I would hope that Santa Claus is coming down the chimney on December 20th.
Yeah, I've heard that one, too.
Yeah, I would hope that.
Yeah, and just, it's, you know, you use a metaphor just because one guy jumps off the bridge and dies doesn't mean or survives doesn't mean the other ones are going to do it as well. But same thing with marriage. I mean, just because it doesn't work out for some people doesn't mean it's going to be a watch for everybody else.
Well, the reality is it doesn't work out for at least half of people. And here in Southern California, where you and I live, it doesn't work out for 2/3 of people.
Oh, man, it's a joke out here. And, you know, I think, you know, marriage is good for some people, and it's not for others.
But I would say if two build it.
That's a good point. But, yeah, I just want to say that, you know, I've been married, and my parents, they've been married for a long time. They have traditional values as well. But you know, I just hope to keep doing that. And the thing is, I'm willing to work at it. And I think it's just the best feeling to go to bed each night knowing that the person that's there is my best friend. They're willing to do anything for me.
Well, you believe that today, and today it might be true.
Yeah.
Wait until you're 30 or 28 or 32, and we'll see if it's also wonderful.
All right. Well, I'll give you a call back in about maybe 10 years and let you know how things are going.
All right, do that.
Cool, Tom. Hey, can you blow me up?
Here you go. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. It's Chris on the Tom Leykis Show.
Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Doing okay.
I'm doing good myself, man. Hey, that last guy just said, hey, in terms of being married, he gets to wake up next to his best friend. You know, I'm 34. I thought the same thing, too. And then up in one day, said not so much. And, you know, in a week, my ex is due with an ex-friend. So I agree with you no more. You know, it's great being single, man. It's great being by myself. I'm self-sufficient. I'm a professional. I cook, clean, do everything myself, take care of it. You know, got a big screen TV so I can watch the Suns game tonight. But, man, I definitely agree with you. It is a liberating feeling, and I couldn't be happier.
I get so much, you'd be surprised. Maybe you wouldn't be, because I get so much satisfaction out of doing my own laundry.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Or when I make dinner and it comes out great, and there I am enjoying it.
It comes out great, and you think it came out great. You don't have to worry about anyone saying, oh, gosh, he's a little overcooked, or this and that, right. And just the nagging stuff.
It was cooked the way I liked it.
Yeah.
That's it.
You say it's nice to go to sleep with somebody, and you think it's your best friend. Well, you know, variety is the spice of life, too, my friend. So I couldn't be happier with that. I mean, it's nothing like going to Cabo when you're single. I just got back from Cabo. So
boy.
That's a good place to go when you're single, but I just couldn't. I was just listening. I haven't been listening to you for a long time, but I tell you, man, I am hooked. I love your show.
Thank you, Chris.
No problem. Hey, can you do me a favor?
What's that?
Take me out THX style.
Here you go. One 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Chris on the Tom Leykis Show.
Tom, how you doing, man?
Doing okay, Chris.
I just wanted to say how much I love your show. I just started listening to it recently. My car broke down on a highway, and, you know, I was on 115, and ever since then, man, I've been hooked.
Excellent.
But I just wanted to talk about how, you remember, you've probably seen a lot of, you know, older movies. You probably read a little history, you know, back in the Roman days when men were superior to women. Women washed our toes and did all that kind of good stuff. And we were superior to them. We were, you know, in charge, I guess you could say.
Chris, you're in charge until you let one of them have the key to your place.
Oh, Tom, that's what I'm worried about. That's what I'm concerned about. The fact that we're in the 20th century, and I got to work for a piece of ass.
Actually, I don't know what century you're in. I'm in the 21st century.
Well, yeah, that's true. I'm sorry. But don't you find that a little weird? Well, you probably don't have as much trouble as I do because you're, you know, Mr. Celebrity over here. But I'm just saying, you know, it's tough in this day and age to
do what? What's it tough to do?
It's tough to work the women, Tom.
Well, Chris, at 18, my recommendation to guys has always been go after the 30. My recommendation has always been go after the 30-year-olds.
Yeah, I think it's once I'm 21 because then I get into the bars. But
yeah, but you understand, you can go to restaurants.
Ah, yes, true.
And by the way, restaurants are a lot more lax about checking your ID because I think you're just there to eat.
Yeah. You're right.
So you find these restaurants with piano bars. You find these restaurants
but then
where divorcees go. I'm telling you, there's ways to play this.
Yeah, but then you were talking to that one guy who's happily married at 25, and he said, I'll call you back in 10 years. He should call you back in 15 years when his wife's on menopause. You know, that is...
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah, so if I'm going to date a 30-year-old and I'm going to keep going with that...
No, you're not going to keep going with that because you don't want to end up with somebody who's 12 years older than you are.
Yeah, true.
You just want to hit it and quit it.
Very true. But they could start being moody at that age, too, Tom.
Then get out. That's when you get out. That's the advantage of not living with them. The minute they give you crap, you bolt.
It's one night. That's what it's all about.
Even if it's more than one night, the minute they give you any crap, you just get the hell out of there.
I hear you. But, yeah. just a little tired of the games. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do. Connie on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
You've got to be about the most cynical individual I have ever heard.
Thank you. I'll take that as the compliment I know you intended as.
Well, I've never heard your show before. I'm in Phoenix visiting my son and my friends, and have been happily married for 25 years in April.
Mm-hmm.
And the sex is hot. The friendship is hot. We fight a lot. When we fight with passion, but we would never, ever think of living without the other because, it just couldn't be done.
Right. So what is your point?
My point is, we are very happy, and there's a lot of very happily married people out there.
There's a lot more unhappily married people than there have ever been. There's more divorce than there's ever been.
Okay.
And the younger people are, the more likely they are to get divorced.
And so everyone should just give up. Is that right?
I tell men there's nothing in it for a man to get married. Nothing.
I think my husband would disagree with you in a hurry.
Well, what does he get for being married that he wouldn't get otherwise?
Well, like the other gentleman said, the young man that you were discouraging, do you have a best friend for life? Someone that is watching
Most times, the person you're with is not your best friend. Usually, you have a better friend, some girlfriend of yours who knows absolutely everything, including things your husband doesn't know.
That's a different kind of friendship, and you know it.
No. A friendship is friendship. There's no compartmentalizing it. The best friend is the best friend. Your husband, at best, is your penultimate friend.
Tom, are you married?
Not now.
No. Okay, so evidently you have not met your soulmate in life.
I don't believe, what is this, eHarmony.com? I don't believe there's such a thing as a soulmate.
Well, that's because you haven't found yours, dear.
No, that's not why, dear. I believe most of us try to be a square peg in a round hole.
Okay, well...
We try to make the parts fit. We try to make it work.
You just can't go around saying that everyone who has...
I didn't use the word everyone. I know there are exceptions to every rule, so what?
So
the divorce rate has never been higher. And by the way, the divorce rate among people who got married as young as you, what were you, 20?
I was about 21.
It's like 80%. 80%. The numbers don't lie.
Okay, so you wouldn't say I found my soulmate if we were able to be...
I don't know what you found. I just wouldn't recommend it to anybody else.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
No guy's ever going to get this good loving until they do what I want them to do.
Oh, so you're a controlling bitch.
The Tom Leykis Show. Live from the Southern California Toyota Dealer Studios, this is 97.1 Free FM.